Hello, let's say you want to add an array modifier to a light, let's say to a grid or a circle pattern. If you go online, you can find a tutorial uh, on how to do this. You basically attach the parent the light to a vertex of a mesh, or you can do it to a face and create any pattern of lights. But in this tutorial, I'll just show you very quickly in Blender 2.81 how to do it and create a circle pattern. So it's too bad that you can't just apply an array modifier directly to a light, and also, why can't we do it to an empty? But anyway, let's go ahead and do this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and delete, add a arbitrary mesh, a plane, and add a simple point light. For visibility, we'll raise that light up, and we want to parent the light to the mesh. Now we'll add the empty, a plane axis empty here in the center, because this is what the circular array of lights will be patterned around. So now we'll go to the plane and we will apply that array modifier. Now you'll see that the light doesn't seem to be there. Okay, you can just go to the plane here, go to instancing, or the object properties, instancing, and we're going to apply this light to instance itself to the face of this plane. And there it is. Now every instance, now this plane is the instancer. Every one that we create, there will be a light attached to it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll make a clock face. So 12 instances, you see 12 lights there. And we want a constant offset, and make sure you click this, and we will use that empty as the reference. Now, if we stayed in object mode and attempted to offset, say, to make it into the 12 o'clock position and then create the circle, you'll see that the only thing you get is it'll spread out like this. Now the way that Blender functions, you have to, let's undo that, you have to go to edit mode, and in this mode you can change the relative position. Then you can go back to object mode, or yeah, and then go to the empty, and then we'll modify. Now this empty is controlling this plane and light array, actually. So we'll go to Z, and we're going to go ahead and rotate each instance to 30 degrees. Now you can see lights all around the center axis. Now let's go ahead and change the properties, the material properties of some of these things. Well, are the light properties. So let's delete the default light here. Let's go to the camera. Alright. Let's go to the world view. Let's go ahead and create a volume scatter, a fog, and create a black background. Now let's go to the point light itself, and we'll modify it to say 200 watts. And now you can see there's a bunch of lights arrayed around the center. Now, if you were to render this real quick, you notice you have the squares still there, which you won't want. And you'll notice that in the viewport you see the light still there, the reference light, but it does not render in the end. And there's nothing I toggle on and off that I didn't show you. It just doesn't render. I don't know why Blender does that. So you don't want these controller planes here that you use to apply the array modifier by proxy to these lights. So go to the plane, go to the object properties, and then it says it right there that the plane is the instancer. So you just turn them off. So no, you don't see it anymore, and you won't see it in the render. If you were to turn off that plane, let's turn them back on. Here, not only the plane disappears, but the circular array of lights disappears, but the center light stays there for some reason. So you have to turn them off here in the object properties instancing. And that's pretty much it. Now let's add a cube just for kicks. See how it, just in case you're wondering if the cube interferes with those planes somehow. If you render that, you'll see that the planes are really gone. If I turn those back on, just for example, render again, now they are there. Great. Hope that helps.